Good morning, good dog. Bonjour à tous. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional and unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people who have cared for these lands for generations. We are grateful to live, work, and innovate on this territory. Their Majesties, His Majesty King Carl Gustaf XVI of Sweden and Her Majesty Queen Sylvia of Sweden, Deputy Prime Minister Busch, the Honorable Minister Champagne, Her Excellency Ambassador Burgstaller, and distinguished guests and colleagues. It is an honor to welcome you to Ericsson's Ottawa facility today and to be part of this important Sweden-Canada state visit. From Ericsson management team today, we have Mrs. Jan Carlson, Chair of the Board of Directors of Ericsson, Mr. Nishan Grover, President of Ericsson Canada, Ms. Anna Dikander, Head of Radio and Transport Engineering Unit, and our tour guide will be Mr. Victor Mayevisk, R&D Lab Strategy Leader. And with that, now I would like to invite Mr. Jan Carlson to the stage.
Your Majesties, Deputy Prime Minister Busch, the Honorable Mr. Champagne, Minister Champagne, Her Excellency Ambassador Burgstaller, distinguished guests and colleagues. It's an honor to host you here today at Ericsson as we celebrate the enduring friendship between Sweden and Canada. Our two nations enjoy a relationship built on more than trade, hockey, or geography. It's not just our shared mutual love for hockey stars like Daniel Alfredsson and Mats Sundin. It is a relationship built on shared values, openness, trust, inclusion, and a deep belief in the power of innovation to improve lives. These values have guided our collaboration for nearly a century, and they continue to define how our two nations shape the future. Together, which is accentuated by the strategic partnership agreement signed yesterday by Minister Busch and Minister Joly. While many not know it, Ericsson technology has been woven into Canada's progress for generations. We established our presence in Canada almost 75 years ago and have continued to grow alongside this country's remarkable innovation journey. Ericsson has been a driving force in Canada, empowering industry to adapt state-of-the-art safety technologies, ensuring first responders to have secure and reliable networks, and supporting the mobile networks that connect Canadians in unforgettable moments. From coast to coast to coast, we are committed to delivering innovative solutions that enhance lives across this great nation. At Ericsson, we have consistently harnessed the strength of Canadian talent and embraced the value of partnerships to unlock progress. Ericsson has more than 3,000 employees in Montreal, Toronto, and here in Ottawa, who are driving world-leading research in 5G, 6G, Cloud RAN, artificial intelligence, and quantum communications. Through our university partnerships with institutions such as Carleton University here in Ottawa, or at Concordia Polytechnique, both in Montreal, we are advancing new research in areas like quantum computing, AR-powered networks management, and energy efficiency. Every year, around 120 Canadian students join Ericsson through internships, gaining experience that connects Canadian academia to global impact. Last year in this very same room, our CEO announced a strategic partnership with Minister Champagne and the government of Canada, with Ericsson investing over $630 million towards R&D. Just a few weeks ago, we announced a $3 billion partnership with Export Development Canada to accelerate the development of future networks. Visiting our labs here, like home in Kista, I see world-leading innovations. Embracing innovations and sharing it to the world are what both countries excel at. Together, we turn ideas into impact and technology into trust. As chairman of Ericsson board, I'm deeply proud of how this partnership embodies the best of the two nations. It reflects Sweden's heritage of engineering excellence and Canada's reputation for creativity, collaboration, and innovation. And looking ahead, the next century of the Sweden-Canada relationship will continue to be defined by the same spirit that brought us here today, and that is confidence in what we can achieve together. On behalf of everyone at Ericsson, thank you to the governments of Canada and Sweden, to our partners in industry and academia, and to our Swedish colleagues and friends who share this commitment to progress. And a very special thank you to His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen. We are profoundly grateful for Your Majesty's support and visit to Ericsson today. Now, I would like to welcome on stage Deputy Prime Minister Ebba Busch.
Thank you so much. Once again, Your Majesties, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, and friends of technology and progress. I have had the honor of speaking in quite a few settings over these last 2 days, and I've actually done something that is not very common for Swedes. I've bragged about Sweden. But earlier this year, I heard from an American friend that if it's facts, it's not bragging. And Sweden is actually number 2 in the world when it comes to innovation. We do things a little bit differently. We're one of the smaller nations in the world, but we're also one of the smartest nations in the world. And we have managed with our companies to make the world both sing and dance and play and look good. All from Ebba to Avicii, from Minecraft to Candy Crush, and H&M to Fjällräven. Perhaps more importantly, our industry makes us safer. Saab defends us and our allies. ABB and Hitachi powers us, and Ericsson connects us. I am extremely impressed with the journey that Ericsson is doing as a company. Keep on every time you've reached one finish line to push yourself over the next, never settling with the major projects and progress that you do in every single area. I'm happy and proud that we can visit Ericsson here in Canada with your long-standing representation here in Canada for over 75, almost 75 years. And especially the work you also do with young engineers. And I asked on the way over here, do we know how many engineers there are placed at this site? And I got a reversed answer. They are counting how many people are non-engineers at this workplace. But Jan Carlson, thank you for your leadership, and to the team here, Ericsson, both here in Canada and Sweden, of course, and around the world. You make sure that we are both smarter together, safer together, and stronger together. And that, I think, fits perfectly into the theme for this state visit to Canada and the relationship that we have with Canada, between Sweden and Canada, of course, and what is yet to come in the coming years. Thank you.
Your Majesties, it's good to be back at Ericsson, I must say. This is my 4th time, I think. I was looking at Jan. Actually, they were thinking about giving me a badge soon, you know. They said, Minister, you're so often in our offices. Your Majesty, the King and Queen of Sweden, thank you for honoring us with your presence. It's a real honor to think that you would have traveled to our country. And like I said at the state dinner yesterday, we learned your deep connection with Canada. And I think every Canadian will be very proud to know of your root in Canada and having you in this country. And today is very special for me, and I would say for all Canadians who are watching at home today, that you would honor us with your presence. To my dear friend Ebba Busch. Ebba, we've traveled a long way together. Huh? It's been a journey since we first met. It's a real pleasure. She's a friend. She's a great leader, I can tell you. When I go on the European continent, she's always referred to. She's a real inspiration for many leaders, but she's also an amazing champion for the Canadian-Swedish relationship. And I want to say thank you on behalf of all Canadians for what you've been doing. I'm like you, you know, we don't brag often, but they call me the bragger-in-chief of Canada because we're a bit like the Swedes, you know, we're Canadian. We don't really always celebrate everything we do, but like you, but I love your analogy now. Since it's fact, it's no longer bragging, so I'm saying that to the media at home. I'll continue to do that. I want to say that Your Majesties, we have 2 members of Parliament with us. Jenna Sudds, which is member of Parliament, we're actually in her riding, so this is her place. And she has been a bit the inspiration around, believe it or not, but this place is called Silicon Valley North. And the inspiration between this district that you see, Jenna has been serving for many years in the city council to make that the reference. So actually, Silicon Valley North was the inspiration of Jenna and many who have decided to build businesses here. So you're in almost the best Silicon Valley, I would say now. And also Carlos Leitao, which is my colleague also, which represents Minister Joly, but a dear colleague. You have 2 Ministers of Finance here today, so you should all feel very good. To my friend Jan Carlson, thank you very much for your trust. I know that you always have a choice where you put your investments, but I was on this podium here not too long ago, as you said, where you announced close to $750 million in what is today the largest R&D center of Ericsson in North America. And I think we should all celebrate that because Your Majesties, yesterday we celebrated the strategic partnership, and you have commended us to bring this relationship to the full potential. But we start on solid ground because Ericsson already believed in Canada. Ericsson has believed in the power of innovation, and Ericsson has believed in this great relationship. I want to say also thank you to all the employees. I'd be remiss because I know many of them. It's really thanks to your talent, your expertise, and your know-how that we can attract the best and brightest here in Ericsson. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of all of us because you really make a difference in what we do here. As you said, Ericsson has chosen Canada more than 70 years ago. And we are very much alike, I must say. I have had the privilege, as I told Their Majesties, my real first job was with a Swedish company, actually. So I've learned a lot from Swedish management, Swedish engineering, Swedish ingenuity, which is not new. You know, you've been, as you said, Ebba, you've been at the forefront of innovation, productivity, competitiveness. And I'm glad that you see combining our 2 countries in innovation. In fact, yesterday I was sharing with Their Majesties when I was with the finance ministers of the Nordic countries that if you were to combine our economies with Canada, we would actually be the 4th or 5th largest economy in the world. So this is, we don't think of ourselves like that, but it's quite fascinating to see that we would be one of the largest economy in the world. So when you think in these terms, you said, we have a lot. We have the people, we have the talent, we have the resources, we have the energy, we have the innovation, we have the trade agreements. We have a lot for us to do together. And I think it's almost your visit, Your Majesties. It's kind of a new journey in this relationship. And I want to say thank you also because, Jan, you believe in Canada, and here you do research on 5G. And I was just in Washington with our friend down south recently, looking at the intersection, as Canada preside the G7 this year, the intersection between, and you did mention that, quantum, AI, cyber, and telecom. So the financial sector and the telecom sector coming together, because when you take all these technologies together, I would say there's a lot to be done in terms of advancement in research, but also cyber protection and how we're going to protect our network. So I would say thank you for what you're doing here. Et je veux aussi dire à Sa Majesté, merci d'avoir choisi de faire un voyage au Canada. Vous savez, le Canada est un allié essentiel et un allié fiable dans un monde en pleine transformation au niveau économique, au niveau politique. Je pense que votre visite renforce cette réalité-là entre nos deux pays. Dans un contexte mondial de plus en plus incertain, ça fait du bien d'avoir des amis comme vous qui viennent nous visiter. And I can say on behalf of Canadians, it's good to have friends like you who come visit us in our country. On partage des valeurs démocratiques, vous en avez parlé hier, Monsieur Leroy. On partage des valeurs sociales, on partage des valeurs aussi progressistes, des pays qui croient dans la règle de droit, qui croient dans la stabilité, dans la prévisibilité. Et c'était un peu vos mots hier, Monsieur Leroy. So I won't go too long because when I made my speech in Parliament about budget, some said that it was a bit long. So I'll learn from Ebba. I said at Parliament, it was just the executive summary I gave you. I said, wait until I do the speech. But I would say that it is a true honor that we can look at the future together, that we can look at further projects that we can do together. And certainly, I want to say that the partnership that you signed yesterday, for me, is the new journey. We have a long-lasting relationship, but I think the mission you have given us, Your Majesties, is to bring it to its full potential. And I can tell you, since you inspired us and you inspired us yesterday, there's already work undergoing. I know our ambassadors have told me we need to have regular calls. Ebba and I, with my colleague Minister Joly, will make sure that your vision and your commitment and your dedication to the friendship between our two countries is going to flourish. So with that, we have a good start in aerospace, as you mentioned. I would add nuclear and certainly in telecom and innovation. So in conclusion, let's seize the moment, let's be ambitious, and let's bring this great relationship to its full potential. Thank you again for honoring us with your presence.
Thank you. So we will now begin our guided tour for their majesties and the distinguished guests, showcasing some of the cutting-edge research that is taking place here. We invite everyone that is not on the tour to enjoy fika while the tour is underway. So, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for their majesty as they depart for the tour. This way, yeah.
Bonjour tout le monde, bon matin. Écoutez, d'abord, c'est un grand plaisir d'être accompagné aujourd'hui du roi et de la reine de la Suède qui sont en visite officielle au Canada. C'est un grand plaisir d'être avec ma collègue Ebba Busch, qui est vice-première ministre de la Suède, une amie de longue date, une grande leader, une collègue avec qui on s'est vraiment engagé à faire fructifier le partenariat stratégique entre la Suède et le Canada. Évidemment, on est chez Ericsson ce matin ici à Canada, qu'on appelle la Silicon Valley du Nord. Alors, c'est un grand privilège de pouvoir célébrer le talent, l'expertise, l'excellence des travailleurs et des travailleuses qui sont ici. Ericsson a son plus grand centre de recherche et développement ici en Amérique du Nord, chez nous, dans la région d'Ottawa. Donc, c'est une visite importante qui démontre qu'on a déjà des piliers solides entre le Canada et la Suède. So I just wanted to say a few words that it's a real privilege and honor for Canadians to have both the King and the Queen of Sweden, which are with us and honoring us with their presence here at Ericsson. I'm here with my colleague Ebba Busch, which is Deputy Prime Minister of Sweden, a great friend, a great leader, and also someone who has been, from day one, believing in the strength of our relationship, whether it's about innovation, whether it's about aerospace, whether it's about nuclear. So for me, today is really following up on the strategic partnership that was negotiated and signed yesterday, is putting that in action. You would know Deputy Prime Minister Busch is a woman of action, I can tell you. And we were already talking today how we're going to put that in motion with my colleague, also Minister Joly, just to make sure we deliver on the full potential. You know, we share a lot with our Nordic partners. I was saying, actually, if you were to combine the economies, I said that in Europe recently, of the Nordic countries and Canada, we would be close to the 4th largest economy in the world. So there's a lot for us to do together. And with that, I want to say again, thank you to the Deputy Prime Minister of Sweden. She's a great friend of Canada. She's going to be an amazing champion for our relationship. And I am very blessed that we can share the stage today. So over to you, Deputy Prime Minister.
Thank you so much. My French is not as good for obvious reasons as Minister Champagne. The best French I do is Celine Dion songs, but I will spare you the singing today. Great honor to be back in Canada once again, both for the Canada Innovation Days, but not least to be welcomed by also Minister Champagne. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you also for your sound and friendly competitiveness, because you inspire me also to move even faster when it comes to putting all of the words that politicians usually stand for into action. Mm-hmm. I would also like to convey once again from on behalf of the Swedish government how important the strategic partnership between Canada and Sweden is. We see this in areas of safety, security, and defense, obviously, in innovation, research, most definitely when it comes to energy. We're a nuclear power nation now, returning and building new nuclear power, also looking to buy more nuclear power plants and bringing them to Sweden, which is a reason why Canada is also a good partner. But of course, given we're one of the smaller nations in the world, but we're actually number 2 in the world when it comes to innovation, we know we bring a lot to the table. And when we partner up, it's a deal you can believe in. Then it's truly a strong partnership. Last but not least, I just want to give from a Swedish perspective and maybe from a European perspective, we are noticing the Canadian leadership. So when I say now to my fellow Swedes that we are going to America, well, then we're coming to Canada. And we are now noticing the very strategic leadership from Canada, from Prime Minister Carney, but not least yourself, Minister Champagne. We are now experiencing a much stronger presence from Canada in the European Union, which means that the European Union is now perceiving the future of the relationship between the EU and Canada in an even brighter and more positive light further. Our schedule here is super hectic. We are now to leave with the King and Queen onwards to the next visit. But thank you so much for hosting us, and we look forward to moving onwards and putting the strategic partnership into action.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
my
so
friend.
much.
Thank you. Do we have time?
No?
Yeah, do we have to?
I'll run.
We need to
And
run,
Mr.
but we'll
Champagne
see
with
you
questions.
maybe, because I have. No, I have to go, but you will see me. I'm not going far. I'm going to Regina. So you see me, Regina and Winnipeg. So I'm not going to be too far.